So welcome to everyone, and I see some new faces today. Welcome, Radhika, and Padma is
Not
here.
Radhika, says Rashmika.
I'm sorry, Rashmika. Yeah, sorry,
Ranga.
Rashmika. Yeah. And today we'll be covering the topic of the Anahata chakra and the Vishuddha chakra. And so those chakras are very important in our spiritual practice. Of course, all of them are. They are all important. We were going through text in this Plexi and Microvita, which is a discourse by Shrii Shrii Anandamurti published in Yoga Psychology, in the book Yoga Psychology. And so we came up to here, and we can read the text, and then we'll go for some other references. And so let's start with the text, and then we go a little bit further. So we had been discussing about the other chakras, and we started with the Muladhara chakra, which has four riddhis, or four expressions or propensities. And last time we had a question of why does the author Shrii Shrii Anandamurti put the name of the riddhi, the English translation, and the acoustic root. So these are the acoustic roots of the chakras. And so last time we had some very nice questions from Nilima and also from Kaliga regarding this, and as well from Turiya. And I think we can start with answering those questions before we move forward, so I don't forget it. So like we have here 4, and then we have 6 and 10 in Manipur chakra, means 4 in Muladhara, 6 in Swadhisthana chakra, and 10 vriddhis in Manipur chakra. And so the location of the chakras are: Muladhara chakra is 2 fingers above the anus, and the Swadhisthana chakra is at the root of the genitoury organ of man, or a similar location for women. And then the Manipur chakra is at the navel point, and Anahata chakra is here at the sternum. On the man, it's like just in between the nipples, or like just like an inch above the lower part of the sternum. And so the Anahata chakra has 12 vriddhis, and then Vishuddha chakra has 16 vriddhis, and Acira chakra has 2 vriddhis. And the author, Shrii Shrii Anandamurti, or Baba as we call him sometimes, or Sri P.R. Sarkar, he has listed the acoustic roots. And the acoustic roots are controlling different expressions in the universe. And so those are the acoustic roots for those vriddhis. Now the question that came was first, like, why does he list those? Because there is no further explanation of it. And so I discussed this on senior acharyas. And so there's a few points on that. The first one is that the Om sound is comprising all the sounds of the universe. And so the Om sound is like the collective sound. Shrii Shrii Anandamurti, he explains it like let's say you have a market, and there's people buying and haggling over the price and etc. And if you go a little far away from the market, you'll just hear like a woo, woo, woo. You'll hear like a kind of a sound. You don't hear any individual discussion, but you hear the collective sound of the people talking in the market. And so the Om sound is like that. It's a collection of all the sounds of the universe. And so the first 50 sounds of the chakras are, they are like, when you try to differentiate those sounds into 50 expressions, then you get those sounds. Of course, there's more sounds in the universe than 50 sounds, obviously. But those sounds are important because they are innovaties. They control those emotions. And then each emotion can express in different ways. You can have a blending of emotions, or they can also express, like traditionally it has been said, they express, north and south and east and west, and then northeast, northwest, and southeast, southwest, and then up and down. So that's 10 direction, and also internally, externally. So that makes 50 times 10 times 2 means 1000. And so that's the petals of the Sahasrara chakra. Now, so that's one part of the reason why he lists those sounds, is because they are part of the Om sound, which is extremely important. Another reason is because the yoga psychology book is a book where Shrii Shrii Anandamurti tries to combine Western science and the spiritual science of the East. And so he takes the ancient wisdom of the chakras and he combines that with modern understanding, and actually in some cases beyond modern understanding of how the glands work. Means I tried one time to a little bit find some resources on how the glands work, actually, like from a medical point of view. And I saw that many of the things that are listed in the yogic science are commonly not listed in the medical books, Like thymus gland, for example, medical science doesn't know so much how it works. It knows to some extent, but there's a lot more they need to research on it. Now, also, the Sanskrit language is the language of the mantras. And so all the mantras are made from the Sanskrit language. And the reason for that is because those acoustic roots, they vibrate the chakras. And so when your mantra is made out of those syllables will be automatically vibrating your chakras. And so it's important to preserve the Sanskrit language. And for example, there are some grammaticians which wanted to eliminate some of the sounds of the Sanskrit alphabet. The Sanskrit alphabet has some sounds which are very uncommon. I can read it for you. I cannot screen share it. Well, okay, it's here in this one of this book. I can screen share it. I just have to find it. Yeah, I will have to look for it a little bit. So, okay, let's leave it for now. But I can read it for you. So we have, for example, A, A, E. Well, we have them we have them here in the book. So we have the vowels are here in the Vishuddha chakra. So you have A, A, E, E, U, U, Ri, 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 E, I, O, Ao, and A. So those are the vowels. Now, out of those vowels, the vowels like you have Ri, that is not very uncommon. It's quite often like Krishna. But then you have Ri. This one is very rare. And then you have Ri. This one is uncommon. And Ri, this one is even more uncommon. And so those three are very uncommonly used, except in Sanskrit, in some specific words. Ang and ah, those are common. There are also some other sounds which are less common. And so especially in Akya chakra, you have ksa and ha. So ksa, this letter here, some of the grammaticians, they actually wanted to eliminate this letter because they said this is just a combination letter. It doesn't need to have its own alphabetical symbol. But according to Shrii Shrii Anandamurti, it's extremely important because this acoustic root controls all mundane knowledge, or apara, and ha controls the spiritual knowledge. So they are extremely important. So that's one reason why he listed them in this context. To give importance to the Sanskrit language and make sure that people understand it and preserve it properly. Now, also, it's important to understand that the chakras have a certain number of riddhis, and each one has a controlling sound in general. And of course, in some advanced meditation lessons, this knowledge also becomes useful. So it's overall, it's a very interesting science, and it's quite unique how Shrii Shrii Anandamurti explains it in this book. So that was the question of Nilima and Kalika and Turiya. It was all kind of related. And we generally don't use them in our day-to-day meditation. In our day-to-day meditation, we are more focusing on ideation on the Supreme Consciousness. And but it is important knowledge. So, okay, so let's go through these, read through this text. Do you have any further question on that? Because you, I mean, did I answer the question you asked, more or less? Yeah.
I definitely still have some questions for you, Dada, but we can take it offline.
Okay, sure. Okay, thank you, Turiya. So then, so maybe Nilina, if you can read the first two paragraphs, starting from the, tick mark. Not only is the light reflected.
Did you say Nilima, sorry?
Nilima, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Not only is the light reflected or refracted here, but also microvita. Moving along, the light rays affect the body and the 12 subglands of this chakra. Positive and negative microvita move along this media. What are the media of microvita for their movement, for their status, for their location, as their abode? Tan mantras, inferences, and ideas. The sidereal plexus is a bit above the igneous plexus, so positive microvita are more dominant here than negative microvita. The igneous plexus is mutative and the sidereal plexus is sentient. Then, where is the position of the static? It is below the igneous at the terranean and fluidal plexi. Good people, spiritual experience or sadhakas, absorb more positive microvita than non-spiritual people. So all their propensity move along positive vitality. In a spiritual sadhaka, all the positive propensities of the Anahata chakra are positively strengthened as a result. This is sentient psychopanoramic maximitis. If one moves towards crudeness, there will be static psychopanoramic minimitis. When this knowledge is acquired by a large number of people in this world, together they will absorb more positive microvita. By doing so, they will benefit themselves individually, and at the same time, the whole world will be benefited. So many stars, planets, and celestial bodies are influencing your sidereal plexus. You cannot remain aloof from such an influence on your sidereal plexus. Nobody can live in seclusion. The hermits who lived in caves in the Himalayas in the ancient and medieval ages should have lived in society and served society. They failed to do so because they were guided by a sort of befooling dogma.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so here he's talking about microvita, and I a little bit touched on that last time. So microvitas are basically, in this context, we can call it almost like an energy, positive energy and negative energy. But it's the concept is much vaster than that, because Shrii Shrii Anandamurti explains that one atom is composed of billions of microvita, and so they are like the most minute particle. But also some of them are psychophysical or physical psychic, and some of them are psychic, and some of them are psychospiritual. And so the microvita, they are like the ultimate building blocks of everything. They are basically like the hands of the Supreme. They are the means of the creation. Means the creation happens through those microvita. Like, let's say when life is created with the help of those microvitas. Like in science, we see virus as a possible creation of life, although viruses are not necessarily alive, some of them, according to definitions. Well, Emerson can maybe comment more on that, but according to Shrii Shrii Anandamurti, everything is alive in a way. Everything is full of consciousness, and so the consciousness, it manifests things through the microvita. And so, like when the scientists are discussing, okay, how was life created initially in the beginning? Was there lightning that struck into some, and caused the stir of life to happen? Or so Shrii Shrii Anandamurti said, well, no, it was not like that. It was microvita. It was directly the will of the Supreme. Use the microvitas to combine things in the ideal way to create the building blocks of life. And now these microvitas, so that's the physical microvitas. But then there's also psychic microvitas or psychophysical microvitas. And they can travel through influences and ideas. And so, like, let's say there is a powerful guru, and he wants to disseminate some ideas. He can simply, through his meditation, he can make those ideas pop up in different places in the world. And so, for example, Shrii Shrii Anandamurti, he gave some of his ideas. We have observed that he gave the idea, and then all kinds of people around the world came up with the same idea around the same time. They may or may not have read his works, but somehow the idea started to spread very fast. And so that's through these microvitas. And now the different chakras, they are, okay, so you have positive microvita and then you have negative microvitas. The negative microvitas, they bring the mind towards staticity and towards mundane existence, animal life, etc. And the positive microvitas, they help us in our spiritual progress. Now the chakras, like the first two chakras, the Muladhara and Manipur chakras, they are related to, on a physical level, they are related to excretion of urine and stool, and also, generation of life through procreation. And so those two chakras, they are static in nature. And the chakra at the Manipur chakra is mutative. And then the Anahata and Vishuddha chakras, they are sentient. And so that's important in relationship with Microvita, because the positive Microvitas, they function better, or they are more active in the higher chakras. So Anahata chakra and Vishuddha chakras, they will be more influenced by positive Microvitas. But the positive Microvitas, they can also influence the lower chakras as well. So like I explained, I'm not sure how deeply I went into it, but like some of the vrittis in, which are kind of negative vrittis, but they can also express in a positive way. So like, let's say yearning for acquisition, this is generally a bad vritti, but you could possibly use that for acquiring food and materials for others, for service. And so like some of them, you can actually use them in a positive way, but generally speaking, for the first three chakras, we just really have to control them. Like we have to control so that they don't dominate us, like fear, hatred, and all of these things. Now in Anahata chakra, we have many, many positive vrittis. And so the positive Microvitas, they will actually make those positive vrittis express in an even more better way. So like, let's say you have mamada, or minus of love. And so if you have lack of it, you become cruel. If you have a normal amount of mamada, you love your friends and people around you. And if you have a high secretion of the hormones, a mamada will start to become a universal love. Now, the Microvitas, they also play a role in this. So like, let's say you're doing a lot of meditation and asanas and taking the sattvic food, which also strengthens the higher chakras. You may start to feel that your love is just expanding tremendously, and you start to feel compassion for everything around you. I definitely had that experience when I was 18 or 19 years old. I started meditation, became vegetarian, and was doing asanas and all these good things. And it created a tremendous change in my mindset. And I had already love for my family, and I had a girlfriend, and etc. So I already had a normal love. But then at that time, 18, 19, 20, that love started to expand, and I could really feel it very, very clearly. And so that's obviously influence from positive Microvita, from all the meditation and kirtan. Now, it is also interesting in this discourse, you may notice that some of the words are in double brackets. And so that's because on the tape, they were not sure, if the author really meant this or the other, because Shrii Shrii Anandamurti, he had many times before used solar plexus for the Anahata chakra. But in this discourse, he started to, and other discourses in the yoga psychology, he makes it clear that actually the Anahata chakra is very much related to the influence of the stars, and the Vishuddha chakra is more related to the influence from the sun. And so let's read a little bit on to hear about that. Okay, you have any questions so far on that? Okay, Anyway, you can also save them for the end if you want. So maybe Emerson, you can read the next two sentences. I don't know, pretty short, but
You should practice spiritual cult to strengthen the positive microvita and lessen the influence of the negative microvita. The people of Germany, called Charmania Bhumi in Sanskrit, also used to practice this spiritual cult. The German term for sun is Sonne.
Sonne.
Sonne. When tears come in the eyes from spiritual bliss and spiritual beatitude as a result of much spiritual practice, it is called Anandashu in Sanskrit.
Anandashru.
Anandashru in Sanskrit. When the tears are tears of bereavement, it is called Shokashru.
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 Yeah, like when there is a dot on the A, it will emphasize, it becomes a long A. So it's Shok Ashru. Two words. Shok. Ashru means tear. So Shok Ashru and Anand Ashru. And okay, thank you. So have you experienced this Anand Ashru? It's a very beautiful feeling. Sometimes when you're meditating, you start to cry, and it's not a cry of being sad, it's a cry of bliss, and I experience it quite often.
And what is the second one?
Shok Ashru is tears of bereavement. So like, let's say you lose a dear one, or you're feeling sad, or and then the tears are coming here. Then the tears are coming here, from the inner parts of the eyes, and the tears of joy, they're coming from the outer parts of the eyes, and sometimes both. And so sometimes if you are meditating and you notice that there's tears coming from your eyes, and you just don't worry about it. It's a sign of spiritual progress. It's actually, if you experience this, that the tears are flowing from your eyes, it's a very good sign of spiritual progress. And in many other Prabhupada Sangit, the song says, tears are flowing day and night from my eyes. Let me see if I have some song like that.
Can that
The songs
also
are actually
happen?
huh?
Can that also happen when you're like chanting mantras?
Oh yeah, sure. No, I mean, yeah, when you're chanting, when you're meditating, when you're doing kirtan. Like, here's one of my favorite songs, Priyatama Prabhu Amar. So this song is number 1412, and so the meaning is, "Oh my most beloved Lord, for you day and night tears are flowing from my eyes." So that's how that song starts. It's I'm not going to sing the whole song, just the beginning. It's a Priyatama Prabhu Amar, Priyatama Prabhu Amar, Tomari Tori Debanishi Akhi Chori, Tomari Tori Debanishi Akhi Chori. So this Dipanishi, Ankhi Jhore, it means day and night tears are flowing. It's so sweet. Dibanishi Ankhi Jhore, Dibanishi Ankhi Jhore, Priyatama Prabhu Amar, Priyatama Prabhu Amar, Tomari Tori Debanishi Akhi Chori, Debanishi Akhi Chori. So tumare tore divanishi aakhi chore. Tumare, because of you, tumare tore. Tumari tore divanishi aakhi chore. Because of you, my tears are flowing day and night. It's very beautiful. So now we come to the Vishuddha Chakra. So Vishuddha Chakra has 16 sounds and 16 vrittis. And let's read through them. I will read this part because there's a lot of Sanskrit. So one is, well, Padma could also read. Padma, are you there? Okay, no problem. I'll read. So Sadaya is sound of peacock or awe. And then Rishipya is the sound of the bull or ox and is A. And Gandhara is the sound of the goat or E. Madhyama is the sound of the deer or E. Panchama is the sound of the cuckoo or U. And Dhaivada is the sound of donkey or U. And Nishada, sound of the elephant or Ri. And so those are the seven sounds of the Sura Saptaka, or the 7 musical scale that Shiva invented. And so if it was, for example, a C major, it would be like Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. And then the different ragas, they will have different combinations. And then you have Om, which is the acoustic root of creation, preservation, and dissolution. We could have a whole class on that in itself. I think we should do that. One time we can have a class on Om. There's a lot to be said about Om. And the Hum is the sound of the Kundalini. So this sound is very special. So like sometimes when you're practicing meditation, it may happen. It happens many times to me. Especially if I'm alone. Somehow if I'm with others, I am more self-aware. It doesn't happen. So it sounds like and it's like when the Kundalini starts to a little bit vibrate, and it's also a sound of spiritual progress. Now Fat is putting theory into practice. Extremely important, because we need to not only understand things, we also need to be able to put it into practice. Let's say you want to do something good, but you never do it, then it's useless. You need to think of doing good and do it. And then Vausad is expression of mundane knowledge. And so you become very practical, and you can have practicality in your life. And then Vasat is welfare in surplus sphere. You take care of others, you have their welfare in mind, and also your own welfare, and you start to develop yourself in higher spheres. And then Swaha is performing noble actions, so you become inspired to do service, to help others. And Nama is a surrender to the Supreme, also extremely important, because in spirituality you have the way things work is that we can do we can do a lot of meditation, but eventually we will have to surrender, because we do the meditation with our mind, but the goal of the meditation is beyond the mind. And so eventually we will have to surrender and go beyond our mind. And so that is the Nama or Namaha. Now, Visa and Amrita, those are like two sides of the same coin. So Amrita is sweet expression. So you can be extremely sweet, extremely good speaker, so that everyone will be charmed by your expression. You can be a good singer or a musician or a dancer. all of those expressions are controlled by the Vishuddha chakra. The way you sing, the way you dance, the way you move your hands, play instruments, all of this expression is here controlled in Vishuddha chakra. And so this vritti is the vritti of expressing in a sweet way. And you can also have repulsive expression. And so that's just the opposite. Like, let's say you have some drama and you create some drama which creates horror in the mind of the people. And or you, some gurus use it to scold others in a good way. It means to a little bit shake up the mind. Sometimes it's needed. Some people are, their mind is very static or very, yeah, some people you cannot influence them only with sweet expression. You need to a little bit have some harshness. And so if you control these both, you can function in any situation. Okay, I think if we just go through the text, we will not do anything else. So I think we should go into the, I had made a short slideshow and touch on a few asanas, if that's okay. Is okay? Right. So I'm going to stop share this slideshow instead. Okay, so I actually took this directly from Dada Sadhananda. I'm not going to hide it. His discourses on the biopsychology are really, really good. I recommend everyone to watch them. They are on the meditation step. There's a special playlist. If you go to the very bottom, there's a playlist called biopsychology. And that playlist has like maybe 10, 15 videos where Dada Sadhananda goes through the same topic, and he covers it excellently and very practical way. And so this is the list that he made, and I, of course, do agree with him on these points. And some of them are also directly from Shrii Shrii Anandamurti, from his writings. Now, Jama Niyama is important to strengthen Anahata chakra. Anahata is the chakra here at the chest. And so in that chakra, we had the, this hope vritti. And so the hope, for hope vritti to become strong, it's extremely important to be good in satya. And if you practice meditation and pranayama, satya becomes very strong. And so, like, let's say you think to say something wrong or you think to do something wrong, your mind will already alert you. No, let's not do that. Let's not do this thing. And so if you practice meditation regularly, then this vritti of vivek or conscience becomes strong. And so when the vivek becomes strong, or the conscience or discrimination, then you will also be able to follow Jama Niyama in a nice way. So if you think to do something wrong, it will hit you. You will think, no, I better not do that. I experience this often. Then asanas, there are some asanas which are good for the Anahata chakra. I think we did go through those yesterday. No, we did not. No, we did not. But especially like, okay, I'll go through that afterwards. And pranayam, there are some special pranayams for this chakra, but also in general, doing pranayam is very good. Now, pranayama is the fourth lesson in our meditation. And so it's prescribed anyone who has high blood pressure if it's very high blood pressure, they should not do it. But if the blood pressure is normal, it should not be a problem. And for people with low blood pressure like me, it's really excellent. I do 4 times a day pranayama. And there are some restrictions on pranayama. In our system, we recommend just doing one type of pranayama and leaving at least 1 hour in between. So like, let's say you
do pranayama each time.
Excuse me?
You said you do pranayama 4 times a day. How many minutes do you spend each time? About?
Well, in our system, we also have to, withdraw the mind and all that. So, I mean, it's not only the time of breathing, it's also the withdrawal process. So it varies. Yeah, it varies.
Thank you.
But yeah, maybe 15, 20 minutes each time.
Thank you.
And you can make the breath very, very slow. Then, it becomes longer time. That's good. Now, kirtan and meditation are also very good for strengthening Anahata chakra, especially if you do the Lalit Marmik. So, like, let's say you're raising the hands and you're dancing with the Lalit Marmik. So, you're raising the hands, so that's strengthening Anahata chakra. And because of the Microvitas, the Kirtana meditation is also strengthening Anahata chakra, because the Microvita is like positive energy, and the Anahata chakra is very sensitive to positive energy. And so when you sing Kirtana meditation, you will be strengthening the Anahata chakra. And so it's very important to do regular meditation and in thereby strengthening the Anahata chakra. Collective meditation is also very powerful and makes it strong. Now, practice of silence is important because the Anahata chakra and Vishuddha, they are connected. And so if you talk a lot, it weakens the Anahata chakra. Like if you are like gossiping whole day or like just talking like non-important, like some people, they just kind of talk the whole day. I tend to talk quite a bit sometimes, but I have to be careful. I have to stop myself. And like when I was younger, I would sometimes go on bus rides and I would, if I found some nice person, I would just talk for hours, but nowadays I just, like really control it. But it's important sometimes to talk if it's something inspiring. And so the practice of silence is basically that you decide consciously that, okay, I'm going to take a certain period in my time, in my day, and I'm going to maintain silence. So like, let's say you decide after lunch, I'm going to maintain silence for half an hour. Or you decide, okay, in the evening, I'm just going to take 1 hour and I'm just going to remain in silence. So that is Monobrada. We did this one time. I was taking a children yoga teacher training, and it was mindfulness based. And so they asked us to maintain Monobrada or silence for 12 hours from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. the next morning. And I really enjoyed it. So it was in the nature. So I went for a walk and repeated my mantra and then did meditation, went to sleep, and then woke up, did my meditation, and just maintained the silence and repeating my mantra. And I had some beautiful spiritual dreams also, and I came to the class and I was just full of bliss. It was very, very nice. Okay, Tandava and Kausiki. So the Tandava, the mans, they hold the hands up like this. I think you all know it. And so the Tandava is very strong, very good for the Anahata chakra, as well as the Kausiki. Kausiki, you're moving like this, is also strengthening the Anahata chakra. Doing service, it helps because it's strengthening humanity, and Anahata chakra is the chakra of humanity. It's the chakra of being a human, and so helping others is very important. Now, in the vrittis, there's one vritti that I mentioned last time, which is repentance, anutapa, number 12. So this vritti, the way to use this vritti is that you, like, if you commit a mistake, you can admit it, repent, take punishment, and move on. So that's the system in our organization. Like some people, they will overdo it. They will, like, whole life they will be thinking, oh, I should have done this, and oh, I did this mistake, I did that mistake, and kind of brood over it. And so we don't encourage that. What we encourage is that if you make a mistake, you just admit it, either just to yourself, or if you want, or you feel to, or you feel it's important, you can admit it to someone else, and you can take some rectification, and then just move on, forget about it, go beyond it. And but that's the way to deal with that vritti of the Anahata chakra. Okay, so any questions? No? Now, in the Vishuddha chakra, we already went through the vrittis. I also want to just go through the practices which strengthen the Vishuddha chakra. So there are certain asanas: Sarvangasana, Macha Mudra, Halasana, Shivasana, Ardha Shivasana, and Akashi Mudra. So those asanas are excellent for Vishuddha chakra, and I'll demonstrate them shortly. And of course, Kirtana meditation, sattvic food. And also one thing is mentioned in the 16 points, which is a special spiritual practice which Shrii Shrii Anandamurti gave in 1970 or 71, 1970 maybe. In the 16 points, it's mentioned that we should not cut or shave the joint hairs and pubic hairs. And so for the joint hairs, the hairs here, most women here in the US, they shave those hairs. And most men actually don't shave them, but some men shave them. And here in the US, it's almost like a taboo not to shave them. And many women have also removed them permanently. But this is actually negatively affecting the Vishuddha chakra, because in the in the human body, like you see this part. So in this part, here you have, if you see the chart of the human body, there's so many lymph nodes here in the arms, and here, especially here in this area, so many lymph nodes. And so all of those lymph nodes, they are protected by the hairs. And so if you shave, it will negatively affect both, Vishuddha chakra here, as well as the Anahata chakra. And so we should not shave those hairs. And shaving the pubic hairs also is negative for spiritual progress. So we recommend not to shave the joint hairs or the pubic hairs. The beard is optional for man, and the hair is optional also. But those joint hairs are more important for the spiritual progress. And I mean, if you want to deal with the society, you can simply just wear long, wear sleeves up to here, so nobody will see whatever you're doing.
Dada, a lot of Avadutas have beards and longer hair. Is that just kind of convention?
That's not coincidence. No, that's not coincidence. So Shrii Shrii Anandamurti, he mentioned that when we see different traditions in the world, we can see how a certain habit influences the collective psychology. And so for man, it's very important to have, well, we call it fighting spirit. It doesn't mean that you have to be aggressive and attack other people, but the spirit of struggling against resistance, like to struggle and have resistance if you're attacked. And so having long beard and long hair, for example, in the Middle East, in Islam, it's mandated. If you are a strong Muslim, you need to keep your hair, from the elbow to here, and the beard needs to be at least this long. It's mandated for them. And so Shrii Shrii Anandamurti said that if we observe the history of the Middle East, of course, there has been a lot of fighting, but they are also strong fighters. And so that fighting spirit is a positive quality, because for example, the Buddhists in India, the man would shave, both the hair and the beard. I don't know if they shave the chest hairs, but maybe. But then when the Muslims, when the Mongol invasion came from Afghanistan, they were easily defeated. There was no resistance, and that, of course, that was also because of their interpretation of ahimsa, nonviolence. But a lot of treasure was destroyed. Shrii Anandamurti did not like that so many monks, so many nuns, and so many monasteries were destroyed without any resistance. And so he said that, if you are attacked, you need to resist, you need to fight back. Don't allow forces to just wipe you out. And of course, for the Dadas, we it's a bit of an adventurous life sometimes. We have to be ready to go anywhere and do whatever. It's a missionary life, so we need to have courage, and so this increases courage to have a long beard. And I think it's also related to spirituality in general. The hairs, they grow slightly more if you are doing a lot of meditation. Of course, chest hairs is very genetic. Some people have it, some people don't have it. Some men have chest hairs, some don't. And of course, beard, also in Asia, some of the nations, they don't have much beard. Okay, we are a little bit running out of time. I maybe thought to do too many things in one class. I'm sorry for that. But anyway, I think I'm going to go through the asanas anyway, if you're okay. Yeah.
Great. Thanks,
I'm
Dada.
afraid I have to get going. But
Okay,
thank
okay,
you,
yeah.
Dada.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much,
everyone.
Kalika. Yeah. You can watch the recording, the last part for the asanas.
Okay.
If you like.
Fantastic.
Okay, thank you so much for
Thank
attending.
you.
Okay, I'm gonna unplug my earphones and do a few asanas. So let's start with the Anahata chakra. So one of the asanas which are good, they are actually good for the whole body, is Padastasana. So you breathe out here, and then you breathe in, and you breathe out, and breathe in, and you breathe out, and go downwards, breathe in, holding the breath each time. So you do this one 8 times. And then Karmasan is good for all the chakras. It's similar. You just, instead of doing the hands like this, you interlock the hands. But, this is also good for, interlock the hands and then you go to the side and then to the other side. Now, also Bhujangasana, of course, is very good. The Cobra pose. So the Cobra pose is like this. You breathe in here. Hold the breath. And then breathe out. So you do that. You do that 8 times. As well as the bow pose is also very good for Anahata. So the bow pose or Dhanurasana. So the Dhanurasana is also very good for both Manipur as well as Anahata. So this one, you catch your legs and then you breathe in. Hold the breath 8 seconds. And breathe out. And relax. So this one is also 8 times. Also another asana which is good for Anahata as well as Vishuddha is Bhavasana. And so the Bhavasana, I never do it, so I'm not so proficient in it, but we should be able to figure it out. It's just not my favorite asana, but it's supposed to be really good. So the Bhavasana, so Bhavasana is like this. You okay, so it's like you separate the legs, you point your legs out, and then you go like this, like this to the side, and then you do like this for 8 seconds.
When we do, we need to bend the leg.
The knees, and you do like this and like this. You have to go up, Didi, or how do you do it?
What is that? What your question is?
Do you need to stand up in between, or?
Yeah, we
Okay.
we
So,
inhale and then exhale when you extend the arms.
oh, so exhale.
Yeah.
And then breathe in.
And then breathe the other side.
And then breathe out. And then breathe in.
And then bring
like
back. No, in the back.
Oh,
no, in yes. Yeah, always have to be together. Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
So the Bhavasana is also very good for Anahata and Vishuddha.
I think when we are doing this posture, we need to focus our mind in Vishuddha chakra.
Ah, that's true. Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
And the eyes is gazing in one point in front of us.
Right. Didi, you want to demonstrate?
Okay, because I didn't use my computer. I'm not sure if you can see.
Okay.
Yeah, because the angle is good. I think you did it already. Dada.
I did it good, well enough. Okay.
Yeah, so we put the toes outward.
Yeah.
On both sides. So you just started like from Tadasana and then just rotate your ankles outward both sides. So then, the tailbone slightly to the front, so the spine straight. We started from here and then inhale and exhale. So we bending the knees. So actually these hands kind of closer toward the arms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then inhale and exhale the other side. Inhale and then exhale. So you put the palms in under mudra, actually it's kind of in Anahata Chakra, and then exhale.
Wow, beautiful.
And then inhale and exhale slowly. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Didi.
Actually,
Didi's always ready for an asana class.
We are always ready to this day and day out. Okay, then let's go for the Vishuddha Chakras, asanas. So the first one is Sarvangasana. Of course, this one Sarva Anga means all limbs pose, so it's good for the whole body. I am not wearing the best clothing for this. I'm just wearing my normal uniform, but anyway, I think it should work. And my room is so small, so you won't be able to see me, all of me, but anyway, it should work. So first you start straight out here. Then you bring your legs up here. And then you go up to the tipping point, and then you raise your leg, meet your body straight. Well, if you're a beginner, you don't make it straight, you just keep it like here. And if you are good at it, you can make the body straight. And you just look at the tip of the toes, sorry. Remain like this for 1 minute and breathe normally. And then you come down slowly, until you come to the tipping point, which is here for my body. My hands are now free, I put them down. And then slowly, vertebra by vertebra, go down. Like this. And so this is Sarvangasana. So this one is like pressing here. And then the opposite is you go in lotus. And you catch your hands here with the feet. You use your feet like a handle, and then you lift your chest up. And then you look forward. So this one is really good, both for Anahata as well as Vishuddha. Now, there's also Shivasana, which is very similar. And Shivasana, I know these are advanced asanas, so we only recommend to do those asanas if you are following the sattvic diet. So it means you should be following sattvic diet if you want to do those. And also if you have high blood pressure, you must not do them, especially if you are older person having high blood pressure. If you're a younger person having slightly high blood pressure, might be still okay. But like if you are more than 60 years old and you have a high blood pressure, then you must not do those asanas. It's prohibited. Now the Shivasana is a very, very nice asana. The translation of Shivasana is consciousness pose. And so first you relax, and then you let's do Halasana first. So Halasana is sorry, my room is really small. So Halasana, you bring your legs here, and you make your legs straight here, if possible, and the hands are the palms are on the ground. And you come out of it in the same way. Just slide, go down, vertebra by vertebra. And so this one is, I think 3 times up to 5 minutes. And then Shivasana is a kind of a variation on that, where you go like this, and then you go down here, and then it's not easy to do this in a skirt. so you put the feet down like this. Now here you have to interlock the hands. Like this. And then you just remain like this for also up to 5 minutes. And there's a variation which is Ardha Shivasana like this. So, and there's also Tejasana, which is, like this. So these are all kind of similar, working on the Vishuddha chakra. So, okay. Now I would say, like myself, if I'm practicing those asanas, I normally always combine them with also Bhujangasana or the Cobra asana, because you are bending very strongly here. So it's good to also open up as well. And then, of course, there are asanas which are just good for the whole body. And some of them are very difficult. I cannot even do them. Like the one where you put both legs behind the head. Those asanas are really good for the whole body, for all the glands, all the chakras. And then there's one pranayama, which is it's actually a bandha. And so this bandha is called, Vayavi mudra is the one for the Anahata chakra. So you stand erect, press the nipples to the third joints of the middle fingers of both hands. And the remaining fingers will stay in the natural position. Now bring the elbows backwards while inhaling. After complete inhalation, exhale. The elbows should be relaxed a little when exhaling. Practice this mudra, the eyes closed, concentrating mind on the Anahata chakra. So, so this mudra is like, third joint, So you press the nipples and the other fingers are out. And then you close your eyes. And then you just breathe in and out, just breathe. So you breathe in. You breathe in as slowly as possible, and you focus on the Ananda chakra, and for the Vishuddha chakra you focus on this one. And but you should not do both at the same time. You do one or the other, depending on which chakra you want to strengthen. Okay, so I think that's enough. I'm gonna stop the recording. Namaskar.